Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Perillo, and it's probably going to be a very short night tonight, by comparison to normal nights. Although it's seemingly been shorter and shorter nights. I mean, the summer is an interesting time of year. A lot of people are outside. Don't ask me why. That's their problem, not mine. Got plenty of activity happening, and certainly enjoy hanging out with everybody and chatting. I'll be dropping advice. Naturally, though I did do 2 last night, so that means I've got a couple in the can. Actually, I guess, yeah, 2 in the can. I just got a notification suggesting that I need to check something. Basically, that's the bot. Literally, the moment I start the show, I have to check something. Great, thank you, notification. Before I check that one thing, let me go ahead and say I'm probably not going to be finishing tonight's print. It's a Gamorrean Guard bust, and the reason why is because I was pretty healthy amount into it before I realized, I think this is going to need supports, because I saw parts that I didn't think would need supports kind of getting munged. And so I basically started the print over again. The reason why tonight's going to be a short broadcast is not because I don't love you, but largely because the Suicide Squad is out, and I've been waiting. So that's out tonight, right now, on HBO Max. I want to watch it. I want to watch it before I fall asleep. So that means, tonight may be a very, very fast, short stream. But let me go ahead and first say that I have completed successfully the Grav Charge. You might remember a while ago, a week or two, when I printed these items. And the reason why I had to wait to fully assemble them and glue the parts together was because the back is magnetized. I had to get a rare earth magnet piece to fit in there, and they work really well. The magnets work exceedingly well in the 4 that I printed, and of course painted somewhat, minus the red. So I painted them silver except for 1, and it turned out really, really well. The magnet is strong. Let me just go ahead and say that. The rare earth magnet works. So I'm going to teach Jedi how to, plant it on something and then let it beep and then run away so that they don't explode. So we've got, I think 4 of them in total. 3 of them are spray painted the silver, and 1 of them is just the plain old gray that, of course, I also enjoyed. So either way, this was done. Had to show you that. I should also show you this. Found it today. Oops, not that. That's a different kind of entertainment. Found these today. This, I can't really peel it apart here, but this is a oven mitt set. Mandalorian oven mitt set. I suppose it could also be used as a trivet. So now we have yet another Star Wars item for the kitchen. Because you never know. You never know. Or maybe you do know. I don't know. Maybe, do you know? Or do you not know? It's a good question, isn't it? Okay, so I have to go fix something. I have to address it. I'll be back in just a moment, and then we'll jump right in to the advice. Thank you, everyone. I apologize. That just so happened to coincide with the, you know what I should have done? I should have flipped over the camera view. And I wasn't thinking. It should have been like, I should have done this. And then taken care of my task. I'm so sorry. I apologize deeply. It won't happen. Actually, it will happen again. I would have flipped to, like, be right back, but that would have been annoying. Because I can do that. I don't know if you knew that. I have a be right back screen. Watch. I never really use the be right back. I don't use it all that often. But either way, yeah, I've got a be right back screen. And I never use it for anything. I don't know. Let me go ahead and take off this to show you that I'm wearing a new shirt. Are you impressed? I am. Yo! I am streaming, Loyal. Loyal. You know, it could be that you need to set a reminder, Loyal.
Loyal Mrs. just gifted 1 subs.
Well, thank you, Loyal. Kicking it off in good style. Dark Toy Lord. Someone who followed the other night after we got raided by Toy Galaxy. One of my favorite Twitch channels and YouTube channels because they geek out about toys. And specifically toys that I grew up with. And potentially Loyal grew up with too. It's very nostalgic. They've been very insightful. Greg and Dan. They're awesome people. And I think they kind of got started on Twitch because they saw that I was doing it. They're like, oh, well, maybe we should do it too. So it's kind of cool to inspire other creators like that. I'm always happy to do that. If only because what else am I going to do with my time? Apart from print. You know, random collectibles that you just can't get enough. I can't get enough of. I'm not even sure where the hell this thing's going to go. Because I don't print a lot of busts. And this bust is scaled down to 75% as opposed to 100%. Because otherwise it would take, I would say, a tremendous amount of space. Well, it's big enough to have to potentially take a lot of space. I know, it looks small to you. Yeah, I think the 10% infill will work just fine. I think it'll save me a little bit of filament because I am definitely getting through it. And according to the clock, yeah, it's going to take approximately 3 hours from this point. Give or take a few minutes. That does not mean, again, that I'm streaming for 3 hours. I don't think that would be reasonable to do because, you know, I know at some point I'm going to run out of things to talk about, and then I'm just going to sit in silence, and it's going to be very uncomfortable for you and for me. But I also mentioned that the Suicide Squad is now available on HBO Max, so I'm very much looking forward to Suicide Squad tonight. I don't have any expectations for the Suicide Squad. I've seen the reviews. I am ditching you for a movie. It's true, Hollywood N3D. I'm going to be making popcorn and watching the movie because I've been waiting. I enjoy James Gunn's productions of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd imagine he's going to bring the same kind of style or Gunn-esque style to it. I don't expect to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I expect to see, if anything, a DC movie that I enjoy. That's my only hope, is that it's a DC movie that I'm into. Because to this point, hasn't happened. I'm into a DC series. I like, I've said it before. It's also on HBO. You know, it's got... Oh, come on. Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. Yeah, the first Suicide Squad was kind of a snooze. I actually didn't mind the Harley Quinn movie. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't necessarily go back and rewatch it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to people, but you're gonna watch Suicide Squad tomorrow. Okay, see, Dark Toy Lord. I have a choice with HBO Max to watch it now. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. Because otherwise, you know, I don't know when I'm getting back to the theater. I mean, I admit I am a little concerned that the world has yet to, specifically this country, has yet to get coronavirus under control. Now we've got the Delta variant and the Lambda variant. It's like we're opening up a fraternity. So as much as I would like to go to the movie theater, specifically for... I want to see West Side Story. I'd like to take my daughter to see West Side Story in the theater. Because I believe that's set to launch this year. It was supposed to launch last year. And then I also want to see Transformers, the movie, like the old cartoon. They're going to be playing that in theaters at some point in the near future. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. I think it's happening later this month, maybe next month, September. But I think it would be kind of cool. I don't know if my dad would get a kick out of it, but he's going to be in town. I feel, cool. I'll wait then. Cova Delta plus Max. Okay, then I'll wait because I know it's got, that's as far as I'm going to go. Loyal. That's funny. No, just wait. Just you wait. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. Delta. I already said Delta. Yeah, I bet you didn't know I knew the Greek alphabet, did ya? I'm full of many surprises. But being surprised that I haven't enjoyed a DC film to date should not be a surprise. That's nothing new. Hello, Mark of Wigan Triple X. GC Laredo, thank you for redeeming the Aziz Light. Omicron Percy 8? Is that it sounds like a planet. You're impressed? That's awesome. 3 or 4 family members got positive results on Saturday. Oh, I hope them well. Alright, so we're going to go to orange. Code orange. That's as orange as it gets. I press the orange. Well, let's see if this is a little more orange. It's a little more orange. Ever so slightly. Doing well tonight. Getting ready, prepped mentally to go through Suicide Squad, to watch it alone. But I was saying the Transformers movie, they're going to be releasing again, or re-releasing really, the cartoon, the movie from the 80s, which I don't remember a lot of. I thought it'd be cool to take Jedi. I don't know if Diana would enjoy it. I mean, maybe I'll say, hey, Diana, let's go see the Transformers movie. It's like, it's a cartoon from the 80s, right? But it'd be cool to kind of see it on the big screen. I missed it the first time. I don't know if Jedi would... I think Jedi would just want to go just to have the popcorn. So, that's my feeling. If you don't watch anything, like it's popcorn, well, you gotta watch it. You got the popcorn. So it would be theoretically, I don't know if she's going to enjoy it. If she indeed wants to... As soon as I say, you want to go to a movie? She's like, yeah! Because she's going to think snacks and popcorn. She doesn't know what it is. She doesn't care what it is. It's the old Transformers movie that I grew up with. And she may get a kick out of it. I don't know if Dad would like it. My dad was never really into animation that I can remember, cartoons or anything like that. But that wasn't necessarily his era. He might remember old cartoons, but he never went back. I never remember my dad going back and watching old cartoons, even when he had an opportunity. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Yeah, Mark, I totally agree. I was, I'm not going to say I was disappointed by the Mortal Kombat movie. I was whelmed, right? Like, not underwhelmed, not overwhelmed. I was just whelmed. It was a movie. I watched it, and that's it. That's all I really seem to remember from the movie. I mean, I remember the battles, but it was just, I don't know. Maybe I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was a Mortal Kombat fan. I played the video game growing up, but I never chased it. It wasn't necessarily relevant to my fandom. But it was fine. It was a blockbuster, you know. I think it would have done just as well in the theaters as it did online, or did it? You got the touch. You got the power. No, the best part of the movie is the Dare to Be Stupid, right? Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. That made the soundtrack. I'm struggling to remember. I know I didn't see it in the theater. I want to say I rented it on VHS. But it may not have been as memorable for me because of that. Oh! The mic. Where is the mic? Oh! The mic is not in the normal place. Thank you. I didn't even notice it was behind the screen. Thank you for following Robot Laser Party. By the way, Speaking of You Got the Touch, check out this band called the Cybertronic Spree. And if you've not seen the Cybertronic Spree, you are missing out. And Cybertronic Spree is awesome. So let me see if I can get their website is just so out of date. Here's their YouTube channel. So it's a group of people, adults, that have a band that basically dress up as Transformers. So check out the Cybertronic Spree. It's so cool. I mean, they do a really good job, like playing a lot of classic rock hits, playing a lot of the music from the original soundtrack. If you've not heard of the Cybertronic Spree, your life is meaningless. You need to add meaning to your life and start following the Cybertronic Spree. They're active on Twitter. It's usually how I keep up with them. One day, I would love to see the Cybertronic Spree play live. I would. And one day, if I'm ever responsible, again, for hosting an event, I want to get them to play. Like, it's so, they do such a good job. They get into the costume, they get into it. Just watch one of the videos. Just watch any favorite classic rock song video. They got a few, like the Immigrant Song, Barracuda. They've got You Got the Touch, Dare, Dare to Be Stupid, Nothing's Gonna Stand in Our Way. Like, it's they've got them all. Like, let me put it this way, like 2 years ago, 2 million views on their Immigrant Song, right? Like, it's just, they're outstanding. And they've got a new songs preview. They've got their tour dates for 2021. Trust me. If I make one recommendation that you stick to tonight, y'all go and watch the Cybertronic Spree. Mark says it makes him happy when I'm live. Well, I'm live every night at what time? What time am I live every night, Loyal? Loyal, what time? Hang on, I'm waiting for Loyal to tell us what time I'm live every night. Loyal. He's multitasking. I'm sure he's probably listening to Kobe. It's not 7. Look at your watch. I'm live right now. 6 p.m. PST. Exactly correct, Kurt. Oh, you're in the UK. I don't know how to translate that, although it must be really late for you. I think the only friendly time for video that I might have for you is when I'm publishing my advice videos on YouTube, and I've been trying in the mornings, and they haven't been getting any traction, so I'm going to try again at like 3 p.m. Pacific to upload my new YouTube videos. So that may be enough. It's not exactly live. 1:26 a.m.? Oh my god, that's late. Yeah, this is usually why we don't hear a lot from Man Cave Hobbies. Although we did the other night. He came in like a wrecking ball. He was dropping bits left and right. It was pretty fun. It was a total blast. The singer on the Cybertronic has a great voice. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, like, the band is legit. It's not just a gimmick band, right? It's a show. Like, they do it. Their costumes are spectacular. The songs they play, the repertoire is awesome. And the style is perfect. It's a show, right? And so I'm kind of hoping that, you know, at some point in the future, Cybertronic Spree will be playing, and maybe I'll be able to take Jedi. Let's go see the Cybertronic Spree. They're a band. They dress up like Transformers, and they play music. Fun. You know, fun stuff. Loud music. I'm like, well, you're going to need to put in, like, you know, earplugs. You always got to remember that before you go into any kind of concert, if you will. Get your drops in, people, because I'm about to lay down some advice for tonight. Again, I've been uploading the advice videos to my YouTube channel that nobody's watching. I just thought I would lay down a bit of advice tonight. Okay, are you ready? You ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Gonna start the drop now. Last drop for a while, because I'm going to switch over to the no anything else view. Advice video to watch more advice video. Yeah, that's really good, Mighty Bean. That's really good. That's smart. That's what I need to do. First concert was Aerosmith. My first concert was Weird Al Yankovic. Diana's first concert was Weird Al Yankovic. I would like Jedi's first concert to also be Weird Al Yankovic. But with any luck, that'll happen, and then potentially Cybertronic Spree, theoretically. So I'm going to lay down a bit of advice, if you don't mind. Thank you very much for listening intently. I will be watching chat, although it will not be integrated in the video as I do the advice. I can't tell you how many times I've been found to be wrong. This may come as a surprise to you. I've been wrong before. More times than I really care to admit. No one really likes being wrong. It's not a good feeling. It's not a happy feeling. It's like, oh, I thought I was right. I did that because I thought I was in the right. But it turns out what I thought I was doing wasn't exactly the thing that I should have been doing. I'm wrong. So if I happen to have a belief, well, I believe the moon is made of cream cheese. What? Oh, it's not? Cream cheese is really only here on Earth? At the grocery store? What about the moon? Why is it white? Did you ever think about that? It looks creamy. Oh, yeah, I know. Just because it looks creamy, it doesn't mean it's cream. But, I mean, how do you know it's not cream cheese? Oh, because astronauts brought back dust and rocks from the moon. And they weren't cream cheese? Are you sure about that? You're sure? Okay, because I don't trust the internet. Because you go to the internet and look up information, and half of the people tell you you're right, and half the people will tell you you're wrong. But science, that you're saying that, okay, I can... All right, okay. I'm wrong. Thank you for illuminating me. Thank you for providing information and changing my perspective. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, when I know I'm wrong. And it's not about being proven that you're wrong, because, again, the internet is more than ready to tell you when they believe you're wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. Sometimes it is a matter of perspective, but other times it's not about perspective. There's empirical evidence that could very well point out the flaws in your logic or how your emotions are getting the best of you, and you could very well be found to be wrong. If you're in any kind of a relationship, you're probably going to be told that you're wrong. How could you avoid being wrong? Well, don't make suppositions. Base your perspectives upon well-reasoned, well-researched, information, data that you can take in to better form a perspective, to better understand the world around you. That's one way to kind of safeguard you from being wrong. It doesn't mean you're not going to be wrong. Don't guess. That's kind of the bottom line. Don't guess. Like if I were to say, put this remote control away because I thought everyone was done using it, and then Diana came into the room and said, "Why'd you put the remote control away?" I'm like, well, because I thought everyone was done using it. Well, no, I needed to use it again, and I needed it to be there because of this, that, and the other thing. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. Did you see that? So I thought I was right by putting the remote control away. And this is just one, obviously, an egregious example because, A, this is a remote control she would never touch because it controls the lights behind me. But it's just one example. But when someone points out that something you believed is incorrect because of new information that they are providing you, information you did not have prior because you didn't have access to it, you weren't aware that that information existed, you based a decision on largely incomplete information or to the best of your ability to do something or to say something. But when someone you trust and that you know, or, enough individuals in your orbit start to question why you believe you're right when there's evidence to the contrary. Like, I'm not talking about conspiracy theories that say you're wrong. I'm not saying that the internet says you're wrong. I'm saying that if people you know, love, and trust, and information is illuminating you to walk down a path, a different path, that may very well cause you to reflect upon what you were thinking and how you were acting upon those thoughts. When that happens, you got to be ready to admit that you were wrong. It's hard. It's not fun. It's fun to be right. It's fun. I'm going to say it. It's fun to say, I told you so. It's even more fun to say, I don't want to say it, but I told you so. Because you got to say, I don't want to say it. And then you say, I told you so. Which is basically, I'm not saying you should do that when somebody else is proven to be wrong. Because that's kind of like poor sportsmanship, right? So when you find yourself in a position where you're reflecting upon your own thoughts and entering into that thought process, the possibility, remote as it is, that what you've said, what you've done, maybe a formed opinion that you had, a belief, may not be fully baked. And this new information that you've received, this new data, when you first receive it, is going to cause you to challenge your belief, your opinion, your perspective, your thoughts. Not fun. No one wants to face a truth. Truth is relative. With these new facts, facts are not relative. You are entitled to your own opinions. You are not entitled to your own facts. When faced with the likelihood that your position is incorrect, the worst thing you can do is double down on your decision, your position, right? You say, nope, not gonna hear it. La 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 la. You're wrong. No. That's not how it works. Like, if someone's giving you information, like, that's information they're providing you. And information might be that you moved the remote control when it was still being used for one other purpose that you weren't aware of. Okay, at that point, what are you going to do? Say, well, it should have been put away when you were done with it. If they clearly explain, well, I wasn't done with it. You were out of the room. I really wasn't, and I left the room before you came back into the room and then put it away, so you're wrong. I'm not going to say that in so many words, but I'm right. I was the one who was using it, and these are the reasons why. At that point, do you keep doubling down? Or do you actually open up and say, all right, fine, wrong? It's not difficult. It's not fun. It's not easy, and it's not difficult at the same time. I swear I'm not being contradictory. It's not difficult, if I can finish this thought, if you're accustomed to admitting that you're wrong, because that's a sign of growth. It's a huge sign of growth. You've challenged your convictions, and you came through on the other side potentially better for it. You know, you've got to kind of trust your gut. You gotta feel your way through this. You know, your truths, especially when you're exposed to somebody else's truths that may bring you closer to reality. Right? 3 sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth. But again, truth is relative. To change your mind takes introspection. And sometimes that's the end point of a process by which you are effectively proven wrong. Or illustrated that maybe there's a better way or another way to think about a certain situation that further causes you to reflect upon possibly being incorrect. How hard is it to say, okay, I was wrong? I was wrong. Now, if the other person just, they double down and they keep attacking, well, that's because they just don't want to let it go. I'm like, look, I said I was wrong. How much more wrong do you want me to be? Like, I can only be so wrong. I have been corrected. Thank you very much. I was wrong. That's it. When you're wrong, just say, I was wrong. I was wrong. I'll go a step further. There are times when I've done something that, in hindsight, was wrong. But instead of just simply saying I was wrong and leaving it there, what I will often choose to do, because sometimes saying it is not fun, it gets easier over time, but it's not easy to do. I think I said it better that way. Is I provide a solution. You know, I was wrong for doing that, but what if I rectified or further rectified the situation by doing this, right? So how about I further rectify the situation by not just course correcting, but by being more conscious about not doing that again, or correct it by replacing it, or whatever the scenario happens, because there's a million variants on being wrong and what you can do to correct it. And the reason why I offered that suggestion is because sometimes saying you were wrong is not enough. Like someone demands satisfaction, if you will, or they're looking for a solution to correct the problem. Here is a practical example. I'm not talking a fake remote control example. There was Jedi had a bag of chalk, like a whole bunch of random chalk, some ice cream chalk, and there was like a dabber. And you were supposed to add water to the chalk, powdered chalk, and it makes like a dabber on the sidewalk, but it was garbage. Like the sponge ripped when we were trying to use it. It didn't work very well. I looked up some reviews. It wasn't that good. So I'm like, this is just trash, dude. Like, this is not going to work well. Just stick with the regular chalk. So I chucked it. So then Diana, she texts me, right? She said, did you throw away the dabber? And I immediately thought, I'm like, yeah, I did, but it really wasn't working that well. If you feel strongly about it, we can replace it, but I've done the research, and it's kind of trash. Like, any of these things, they're not good. So it may be throwing good money after bad at that point. But that I offered to replace it was enough to kind of talk her down and bring her, out of that realm of being upset. Because she was really upset. I'm like, well, okay, then we can replace it. I said, my bad. I was wrong. I'm sorry, but we can replace it. That said, ... And that completely diffused the situation. So sometimes, especially if like, I threw something away, someone's upset about it, what's the likelihood of correcting the situation, and working that go? But I literally changed that situation by being informed, being told that somebody else was not happy with the decision that I made, and doing my best to not just admit that I was wrong, because I don't feel I was wrong. I was wrong for not knowing Diana's perspective before completing that action. I was right for throwing it away because it was trash. It's not a good product. So do you understand how I approach that? That's a practical situation. That's an actual flat practical situation that is the top of mind in relation to being able to admit when I'm wrong, and being able to tell you need to be ready to admit when you're wrong when new information comes in. Because if you ignore the new information, and that information is relevant to your position, you're not doing yourself any favors. I'm as stubborn as they get, I understand, but you're not doing yourselves any favors if you're not open to other perspectives. You're not doing yourselves any favors if you're not aware that your experience does not necessarily mean it's everybody's experience. Someone else may very well have had a different experience, a different perspective. And I'm not saying you got to say you're wrong about everything. Come on, that's not reasonable. But when new information comes in to explain that the moon is actually not made of cream cheese, and here's why, like, it's not cows are not on the moon. How are you going to get cheese up there? And I know some people out there, well, celestial objects and gods from the sky rain down lactose, and it intermingles with the... No, that's conspiracy theory territory, okay? When you have been illuminated and open yourself up to other perspectives, and you still believe you're right, fine. But shutting yourself off from a reasonable amount of information counter to your belief or position is a really good way of stopping discourse, and a great way of never understanding other people's perspectives. Being able to admit you're wrong is a great way to begin to understand that the world does not revolve around you, nor does the moon, which, by the way, does consist of cream cheese. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I can't end this video without exclaiming once and for all, the moon was made of cream cheese. No, it wasn't. Don't try to convince me. Trust me, it's not made of cream cheese. But I hope this helps, because I know many of you are wrong, and I will continue to be wrong, like, indefinitely. For the rest of my life, I will find myself in situations of being wrong. So please, if you think I'm wrong about something, illuminate me. I may disagree, because I may have a better information on my hands, and any new information may not actually be valid information. But please, just know, I'm ready to admit when I'm wrong. So, that's that. The moon revolves around you? I had no idea. The moon is flat. Well, that's new news. That's news. I didn't drink, you're right, because I didn't have a cup, so I held up my hands. I'm throwing it off. I got to stretch. Thank you very much, Kurt. Any tips for someone living with brutally slow internet? Yeah, move. Or move again if it's at your new place. I mean, it's not really life advice. Oh, I needed that stretch. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was saying, like, don't just admit when you feel you're wrong. Okay, fine, I'm wrong. But actually offer a solution. I think it goes a long way. I think offering the solution that's what a lot of people miss out on, right? It's a good opportunity to turn something around, especially in relationships. Especially in relationships. Yeah. Ooh, cool. There's new, Walmart, which my Walmarts suck. Grogu Hideaway Hover Pram plush. $20? Oh, F that. I'm not gonna pay that much. Yeah, I know nothing about internet connection. It's beyond me. Good luck. Get in line until broadband is a public utility, which, you know, I'm very glad to see that the infrastructure bill is, if it does pass and all this, everything happens, that we'll see some kind of minimum broadband. Because I argue, when I lived in Iowa, I argued that every remote community needed to be connected to the internet. And I don't just mean by way of dial-up, like broadband, like fiber. Because there's nothing else to do, right? And you could connect these digital communities remotely to do work and open up new opportunities for remote employment simply by connecting them. You know, if you're missing out on broadband, at this point, you're missing out on the world. It's not about just physical location. So I'm kind of glad to see that getting addressed, but I'd like to get, personally, I'm not going to say internet's a human right. Although, access to an open internet, let's face it, if Maslow reworked his hierarchy of needs, Wi-Fi would probably be right up there. Some kind of service. You know, if a more stable possibility, I'd like to see it either competition increase, which it isn't, and if competition isn't allowed to increase, then I think a public utility, it makes sense. I think, though, with a public utility, there also needs to be private. I think there needs to be competition between public and private. Whether or not that works, couldn't tell you, but the idea would be that you'd have something stable, but you could also go for a little bit more, right? You'd have a guarantee, but you know, maybe it may not be a better rate, but it's blazingly fast, and you would have access to it. And right now, it's scattershot, at least here in the States, right? Nothing's guaranteed, right? It's all about where you live, and that's stupid. It's stupid, and that's what happens when you don't have competition. That's what happens when restrictive laws are stopping. I just wish it wasn't the case. I wish it wasn't the case. Publicizing things scare you, though? Okay, DG, well, let me ask you this. What scares you more, your internet connection now or knowing that you could have had a better one if it was a public utility? Which scares you more? I'm saying lay it down as an option. Lay it down as an option. Healthcare also needs to be a public utility. I mean, it's asinine that America, one of the most, you know, I'm going to say richest countries in the world, but certainly we got money flying around. We got money, and people die because they can't get health care. Not because the health care doesn't... Thank you, developed countries, Nick. That's the word I was thinking of. I think health care is a human right, and I think access to internet is also a right. Because losing it, you lose so much. And I don't just mean getting online to game or whatever. I mean access. And maybe with wireless stuff coming, it'll be easier. You know, wireless services, you know, 5G and satellite, more competition. More competition. That alleviates the need for that kind of structure. But there's not enough competition with health. There's no competition with health. And it's tied to employment. It's asinine. People are dying. Oh yeah, I saw Mark's comment about the autofocus. I understand what you mean. Like when I do this, I know it goes out of focus because I hold up the hands. I've seen it. I'm not worried about it too much right now. But thank you. I appreciate you you laying that thought down, that little bit of advice. Doesn't bother me too much, though. I don't get bothered that much by a lot of the stuff anymore, because I'm like, well, like, let me put it this way. The video I uploaded today, 100 people watched it. I'm like, if I worked it to perfection, and like, that many people, I mean, it would have been a waste of everything. Moreover, this camera has a different kind of autofocus features. It's designed so that if I hold something up, and the problem is I use my hands. So all I can hope for, or all I can try to do is not just stay off the table so that this doesn't happen, but also back in one plane. I'll be conscious of it. Thank you. I appreciate it. You want fiber, not wireless 5G? Lestat, I'd take either. Anything to increase competition and speed. You've heard horror stories about the American healthcare system? Yeah. I mean, let me put it this way. People, this is how broken the healthcare system is. This is how broken it is. People go to GoFundMe. GoFundMe would not exist, or at least in its current incarnation, right? Like, if you have health problems or health bills, you go to GoFundMe. Seriously. Seriously. I'm featured at... Oh, okay. I don't know what it is, but... Quickest focus on any camera. Oh yeah, no, it's made for that. And because I hold things up usually, you know, it's better to have like that. You're right. I have to be conscious about it. What I'm saying is I'm aware of it, and I just don't care. And I know you care. Thank you for caring. But I'm just like, it's not gonna change much. 10,000 for just cutting off your little pinky. Well, you know, I'm not here to argue the costs because I can't speak to the hard costs. I'm just saying that it's a tragedy that people die in a country where they can't afford health care. Like, we have the power, we have the ability, we have the science, we have the knowledge, but because you're not rich enough, you can't afford certain procedures. Critical procedures, whether we're talking physical health or mental health. You know, I believe that mental health is a serious affliction that needs to be addressed in this country, but it never will if people can't afford the treatment. It's just this Ouroboros, right? We're just arguing in circles. Like, I agree. Mental health's a problem. And just waving your hands and say, well, it needs to get fixed. Well, it's your personal responsibility to get it fixed, but coming up with $20,000 for a treatment plan for your particular condition, for some people is just not, it's not in the cards. So they continue to suffer. Or they have cancer and they've got no job association because they've always been independent or an entrepreneur. right? And they worked to build something, but it was the wrong, they had the wrong kind of plan, or the insurance doesn't cover it. I don't know. It's expensive. And, you know, and it was expensive even when I was independent. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. And I refuse to believe that enough people would not want like a single payer option in this country. They've pulled, it goes right and left. Like, it's not a liberal versus conservative thing unless you work for, medical, right? Because there's a lot of money in medical. There's a lot of money in being sick, but there's not necessarily a lot of money in letting people have access to health. So yeah, I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan. Not just Medicare, Medicaid. Like, are you telling me to breathe? Are you trying to make me healthy now, Krusty? Is that what you're telling me? Telling me to breathe. What are you, my smartwatch? Oh, you are. You can live most of the healthiest life and still be sick. Health concerns have to do with genetics as well. I can't even tell. I mean, yeah, if you're unhealthy, you gotta get better, and it's unfortunately not cheap for everybody, unless you're making money. But if you're not making money, or you don't have enough, built up, like, it can destroy you. It can destroy you. A health condition can destroy, not just kill, destroy you and your family because of the way the system works. So, is that just because it's always worked that way? Does that mean we should always just keep doing it? I think it could be done better. I do. I believe there's a better way. And that doesn't mean everyone gets a free ride either, because that's not the case. It's not the case. I understand. That would mean taxes. Okay. Cool. Because people who are unhealthy are indirectly a burden. Because they can't take care of themselves. And because they, increase the chances that I won't be able to get taken care of if I run into a problem. The system needs to be re-architected. And with big money in it, it's never going to happen. With lobbyists, it's never going to happen. Ever. With the current range of politicians that we have, the special interest groups that we have, from right to left, it's never going to change. Choose better politicians from the ground up. Good luck, because I hope you live in the right district, because if you don't, it's never... Just because it is, doesn't, and just because it's working for me, this is my perspective. Just because it's working for me, doesn't mean it's working for everybody. I can at least understand that. I have that perspective. You're still able to work and have insurance despite having MS. When you're finally disabled, that's what's going to be a whole different story. I'm concerned for you, buddy. So, I'm not into endorsing one political ideology or another, because in my humble opinion, health shouldn't have a political ideology, because we all get sick, right? We all have maladies. We all have problems. It's not a right or left issue. It's not a progressive versus conservative issue. Like, it's an issue that we all need to deal with. COVID don't care. It don't care. Cancer don't care. It doesn't care. You got to play on its terms. And health, unfortunately, gets caught in the crossfire. Because there's a lot of money in keeping it the way it is, the status quo. I gotta admit, I do worry about a time when our family, knock on wood, faces anything like, potentially face anything like that. A disruptive problem. It would be, it'd be potentially devastating. Yeah, I admit it. And I would say largely because of the way the system works. And I've been caught, maybe not in the health system, but I've been caught in certain systems in the way it works in America. and Perillo Care. You don't want Perillo Care because Perillo Care. Krusty, here's why you don't want it. Because Perillo Care job 1 is to eliminate animal products from food. That's number 1. I believe that kind of diet is directly associated to health problems. Based on science and studies. Not just, jacking any ideas. You don't want Perillo. So trust me, Krusty, you recant that. You don't want that. Although, I have heard, since you're in California, bacon apparently is going to be more difficult to get because there's something going on where the price is growing for bacon. Because of something happening in Iowa, California may lose access to as much bacon as they get. So, yeah. See, I told you. I turned it around. I told you, vote against. You do not want Perillo Care. I'm just telling you right now. Although I was reading an article, it was pretty interesting. They were talking about farmers and plant-based stuff and plant-based needs versus traditional animal-based needs for farming, agriculture, right? Like soy and corn in the Midwest, like Iowa, usually go to feeding livestock. Well, if plant-based food products, like milk, let's say, alt milks, right? If they become cheaper than dairy, that really starts to shift the balance. Forget about the planet and lands and all that stuff. If it's cheaper, people will vote with their dollar. If it's cheaper, they will. So there's going to come a point. There's going to be a delta with some meat products, which I feel maybe old people like us, Krusty, we're probably not, probably going to be set in our ways, fine. But the younger generations, they're going to see it differently. And they're going to be accustomed to they're going to be used to almond milks, not cow milks. They're going to be accustomed to a plant-based burger, right? As a more, a part of a norm rather than meat made from an animal. So it's going to be a gradual shift and specifically really hit home when it's cheaper. So then what do those farmers do, right? So I'm reading this article, right? And it was really smart. Like, because they won't be able to sell as much anymore. They won't be able to make so much money. There was a farmer who went to an event, and he thought he could make more money instead of going to like a mercantile exchange, make more money by going direct to a company. And like a plant-based company, like, what do you need? Well, they need pea protein, or let's say mung beans or something like that. So he's reusing his land, his same land, to raise crops specifically for a company or specifically for a plant-based type of agrarian economy. So I feel many farmers can make the transition, at least as far as crops might be concerned. In terms of raising animals for slaughter, I don't think it's gonna happen in 20 years, but after 20 years, I think it's going to be very, very reasonable to see that meat becomes, quote unquote, what we know as meat, right? Chicken and poultry and dairy and a cow and all that. Even now is a premium. Meat is. This always makes me laugh. It kind of cracks me up. When people say, "Oh, it's expensive to be a vegan," I'm like, "Have you seen the price of meat?" No, I don't spend the money on that. I buy these like bags of dried pinto beans that will last 5 days, and I buy a bag for $1. It gives me protein that I need. So, anyway, it's about price and improving flavor, improving texture. I'm telling you, the flavor and the texture are getting there. Bacon, hold out on bacon right now. I will tell you that. I'm the honest vegan, right? I'm the one who says, yeah, don't believe the people who say everything's a replacement. Don't. It's not true. But I think a lot of it goes a long way. A lot. So costs are going to be driven down. Land is going to have to shift, and meat is going to become that much more of a premium because it's going to be, if you'll pardon the expression, rare to come across. Because I believe there's going to come a point where fewer people are going to be consuming animal products. And at that point, we may very well see trends in health change, possibly. Because saturated fat is saturated fat. It's going to impact you one way. Cholesterol is cholesterol. Weight gain is weight gain, right? But there could very well be a change. If we have a dramatic change in our diets, we're going to see that reflected in the data. That happened after the low-fat craze in the 80s. You want to talk about when people's weight exploded? When they cut out the fat, because they replaced the fat with sugar. So it wasn't about avoiding the fat. You need fat. You just can't have too much of it, right? But we supplanted this with artificial sweeteners and sugar, and that caused a different set of problems. Yeah, diets. I absolutely believe diets related to health. You are what you eat. It's true. It's absolutely true. So anyway, yeah, I read this stuff. I'm really interested in a lot of this kind of news. I mean, obviously, I've kind of got a vested interest because I enjoy finding fun food products to eat. More vegan options, yeah. But it'll be curious to me to be there when that price shift happens, right? Because if you see, let's be honest. I mean, honestly, you're in the grocery store and you see 2 bags of shredded cheddar cheese, okay? And you know that the quality is equal, and you're going for the flavor. You just know. And the vegan option is $1 cheaper. Are you going to grab the vegan option? You know it tastes good. You know it's good. You know it's cheesy, right? It's cheaper. And if it looks the same, smells the same, tastes the same texture, everything's the same minus the dairy component and the lactose. Or let me put it to you another way. If you saw 2 cheeses side by side, same cheese, dairy cheese, everything equal, same ingredients, blah, 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 different companies, different brands, but one is $3 more expensive, which one are you going to grab? You're going to grab the cheaper one. People vote with their wallets. They always have, and they always will. I'm economical, right? Even when it comes to buying the junk food stuff. I'll wait until it's on sale. I had a food delivery. That's what I had to pick up. They delivered on the porch. I ordered those vegan hot dogs, those field roast hot dogs that taste like pastrami meat. So I ordered some. They're frozen, but I ordered like a couple of bundles so that when Diana and Jedi get back, we've got some, or my parents come over, we got some. Although with those, I want to get sauerkraut and the rye bread with some. I don't know if they have a good Swiss cheese alternative. I may be able to find a soft cheese alternative, a vegan soft cheese alternative to put on there and smear on it, kind of like make a little sandwich hot dog thing. So I'm kind of preparing for that. And then of course they had Whole Foods had like 108 ounces of extra virgin olive oil for like $20. I'm like, oh my god. So like if you're gonna have oil, unrefined is probably the best. Otherwise, you're getting all sorts of potential issues, especially with heat, introducing trans fats, all that stuff. So I replaced the vegetable oil that we had with the extra virgin olive oil. I'm sure Diana won't mind at all. People with sensitive taste buds can taste the difference. You'd be interested in discovering just how much you could feed someone a vegan meal and not tell them, and they wouldn't know. I bet you anything. The average American could not tell the difference. If it's like the what was it, Sanka Folgers? We replaced your coffee with Folgers crystals, right? And people are surprised, right? Well, I had no idea. I bet you anything. If you prepared it right, and you prepared it well, and you didn't tell someone that it was that, they would not know. They wouldn't know. Right now, there are potentially exceptions to the rule. Just because it's that way doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's been produced well. But there are some that have been produced better, right? It all depends on manufacturing, how it was done, the recipe, etc., etc., etc. There's so many, how it was prepared. There's so many. When I tried Beyond Meat the first time, I'm like, I don't see why other people are just crazy about this, because this is not that good. We didn't make it very well, or it was an early version of it. Now I'm just like, this is great. Like it's a burger for all intents and purposes. So anyway, I'm talking about health. Got off on that tear because we were talking about healthcare, right? I'm just saying that I think diet has a good amount to do with health. See, that's what I learned when I was growing up. What was his name? Timer was his name. He was like an egg that ate vegetables. It was a PSA back in the 80s, like I think on CBS, was it? That Sanka Advertising Agency still playing out the class action lawsuit against them for false advertising. Was it Sanka? Was it Folgers? I thought it was Folgers. We replaced your coffee with Folgers crystals. The first Beyond Whopper came out was pretty bad. I don't remember that. Actually, no, I do. It was good. It wasn't bad. But the thing is about those kind of foods, hamburger meat, you mix it in with other stuff. Nobody, except for me, because I'm a moron, nobody eats a plain meat patty, right? It's in a burger, which is in a bun and lettuce and cheese and mayo, which, by the way, there is vegan mayo. And if you could tell the difference between the two, I would be shocked. Because they taste exact. They smell the same viscosity. The vegan mayo stuff is legit. And, you know, you pile all this stuff on there. The burger portion and the meat portion is just a part of it. So, again, I would argue that if it was prepared like that, I don't think the average American could tell the difference. I really don't. I could be wrong. Maybe they do. And again, this is not, hey, I'm sitting here, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's your health. It's your body. I'm a big believer in, I am pro-choice in terms of what you do with whatever is in your body or you plan on putting in your body. That's your choice. It's not mine. So I never sit from a position of judgment. I have my choices. I have my beliefs. I have my perspectives. I also have my results, which I feel speak for themselves from my particular position. But I'm also watching these greater trends, right? And seeing how it's all playing out. And I think, watch the economics of this. The economics of this are going to flip at some point. Oh, Krusty, thank you again for being here. I may be wrapping it up soon because I want to watch the this wasn't going to finish before the end of tonight's stream, but I'm going off on a tear, so I'm following it through. I want to watch Suicide Squad tonight. You've tried vegan patty, boy, did I taste a difference. Well, yeah, big fan. I can't speak to your experience at all. But I'll say it again. It depends on how it was prepared. So that's what it is. Well, I guess, you know, I did everything I wanted to do. Geeked out. Got a little heated. That was awesome. That was fun. I knew my print wasn't going to finish. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm satisfied. You're seeing Suicide Squad IMAX? Well, I'm not. So, there's Beyond Meat and there's another brand. Which tastes best? They kind of taste the same. I suppose if I did blind, I could tell you, but Beyond or, what's the other one? Impossible. Even the grocery bought burger, they kind of taste the same to me. They really do. I know there's a difference. I know there is, but I don't know. I can't, my palate, I guess, is not that impressive. Since clean salads, your cholesterol went down 30 points. That does not surprise me, Nomi 3. You're not taking in any kind of extraneous oil. That's science. If you eat saturated fat, that's kind of what if you eat a lot of it, that's what happens. If you eliminate it from your diet, that's what happens. This is not conspiracy. That's not about being vegan. It's just true. Being vegan is an extreme form of that truth. Give me a moment. I want to check something here. There we go. Okay, let me see here. I'm checking one other thing. Okay, I checked that. You always loved meat the way we'll always love smoking. Quit smoking 15 years ago. Yeah, see, but it's the thing. I ate meat. I quit, but I don't love it. I really don't miss it. I suppose every so often, maybe, yeah, bacon would be kind of fun, but not enough to, like, topple my health trajectory. Like, I'm never going back. I'm too healthy. Never been healthier in my life. Do I have an affiliate link for Prusa? Lestat, you're gonna make me sign up for one, aren't you? Okay. I will sign up for the Prusa printers. I'll do it. Affiliate. Prusa affiliate. I don't expect that I'm going to be making that much money on it. But sure. I'll sign up for it, okay? And then ping me potentially tomorrow or at some point in the near future. The human body was not designed to eat meat. Well, it was, in the sense that we can, in the way that we can also eat plastic. It's just our body can't handle it as well, scientifically speaking. Rad Nicky just sat on his keyboard, apparently. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the ad at the chat, Nilla Gorillas. I apologize. Or he's fumbling with the phone. Larzeus, doing overtime at work. Fair enough. You were cleaning something? I do the same thing. Wait, there we go. Okay, got it. That's what I wrote. Just there. Oh, yeah. Marvelous bricks. All right, let me see. You just want to know because you're saving for one and wanted to help me in that. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll sign up. It'll take. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take, but I will save up. So we raided Bad Mads last night. She was happy. Kobe is streaming. Stray Robotics. Interesting. Oh, dude, this we're raiding this guy. Stray Robotics. Let's make parts for a rover. We're raiding this guy. Shout out to this guy. Okay, everybody, thank you for hanging. I know it's a brief night, but like I said, I want to watch Suicide Squad tonight. Very happy, very much looking forward to that. The Gamorrean Guard will be completed by tomorrow, I hope, as long as it turns out okay. We shall see together on that front. Aveline, good to see you here before I head out. Love my advice videos? Awesome. Thank you, Lestat. I'm glad you say that, because I always worry. Like, sometimes I just put it out there. I'm like, well, this is what makes sense to me. I'm not an expert in anything except for being myself. Didn't have a lot of cool Star Wars stuff to showcase tonight, but I know I have more stuff coming in. This was cool, though. The charge, the grab charge, printed magnet thing. This was cool. I just got to be careful about where it goes. I don't want to stick it on any magnetic media, although I don't think I have a lot of magnetic media. You seriously need to get the stream earlier. No, Avaline, it'd be way too early. That'd be way too early for you. I mean, yeah, I'm sure when the fall rolls around, in the fall, and we've got a lot of activity, and there's a lot of stuff happening, I feel that the streams could, find their way into being longer again. Not supposed to flap. They're just deep. Alright, sorry, I had that stream up in the background. Give me a second. Okay. Well, let's do this. Try it now. Sound effects weren't working, I guess. I hit refresh, so I mean, not like we're gonna be doing a lot of have a lot of time for them anyway, but. Thank you very much, Avaline. Appreciate that unfreezing. Got everything going on in the stream. Oh. Dixie Fire burned Greenville? I think I've been to Greenville. I'm pretty sure I have. Thought I did. Thought I had. Okay, so the sound effect does work. Thank you, Anonymous. If the sound effects don't work, you gotta tell me. And then I can hit refresh, and usually that fixes the problem. I don't know why they weren't working, but it is what it is. Where'd that go? Well, big fan. I don't know what to tell you. I can't do everything, unfortunately. You're sure the Emperor's happy he got to sleep during tonight's show? He did. He was pleasantly cozied up in his little corner of the world over there. Oh, now it's on. We got the cat, thanks to Anonymous. Anonymous. I gotta live my own life outside the streaming box. That is true. Now you can kind of tell, like, how, I mean, usually I kind of, like, go with the flow. Like, if there's a lot of activity and questions and interactivity, I might stay longer if I'm going to do a print or I've got a goal or I'm working on something. It's a different kind of flow, right? And I can generally tell, oh, Liz meowed and got knocked off the internet. Great. But at least it worked. I hope to enjoy the movie Avaline. My hope is I will enjoy Suicide Squad. I don't know if I will yet. Looking forward to it. I have been looking forward to it for quite some time. If only because James Gunn's attached to it. Not because, ooh, Suicide Squad, ooh, DC, but James Gunn. James Gunn specifically was the reason. Used to smoke and vape. Now I know they're both bad. The way I look at it is lesser of the two evils. That's one way to look at it. That is one way. So we're going to be rating Stray Robotics tonight. Very much looking forward to this, because I don't think we've rated Stray Robotics yet. I love you. I appreciate you, and at this point I'm going to leave you to your own devices, and may the Force be with you always. Thank you for hanging out for as long as you did. I know, short streams, I know. I hear ya. When there's more interactivity, and there's more activity, and there's more this, that, and the other thing, it's easier to go longer when I get drawn into something. But, again, it depends on the night. And summer is a very a difficult time to get people to sit in front of a computer. So I would expect a lot of that to pick up as we enter the fall and winter months. Did I say I love you? I appreciate it, but at this point I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you always. If I did, I just said it twice. See you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. For how long, I have no idea. You never know, so it's probably good to get in early if you can. I'm fired. Thanks, Night Death. That's just I knew it. I'm fired. Well, let's give this nerd a good nod. He's geeking out on space and actually making. He is making product here, making parts for a rover, a robotics guy. So cool. I love finding these people on Twitch. So I guess I've been fired. We're gonna be Tuscan rating in 3, 2, 1. go. Ah!
Yes. I know it's a little bit of a touchy subject. My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure? Oh my gosh. Rating. Wow. Welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Chris and all you fine folk. Let's see. Switch over to a different camera room. Or if you guys want.
Ooh.
I think I have some rovers. Rovers to drive.
Nice.
Just to be sure.
Dude, you can drive. Shut up.
So yeah, you guys feel free to drive some rovers.
Wait, so R1 F.
But yeah, let's just enter
Wait.
in
R1 F.
exclamation point rover, and you get the controls or the controls are
R1 R1 F 6.
Yes, exclamation point rover.
I think I figured it out. R. I did it. R2
And yeah, there you go. You can now
B
drive both of those rovers.
8.
It's a little
Oh, cool. You can drive the rovers? Oh, that's wild.
require a capital R, capital R1, lowercase, lowered, F, G, whatever, and those spaces. It has to be very precise, but it looks like you guys are getting
Dude, that is so wild.
to drive those. I am Scary Robotics. I make these rovers. I make them out of resin. And let's see, here's one right here I have mostly made.
Dude.
This is what I make. I did an educational STEM outreach type rovers. So they're solar powered. You put them out in the sun and they drive. And then whenever you or your child wants to add electronics, it's super easy. We just add an Arduino or whatever inside and off things running. So I make these and let you guys drive them on stream and whatnot. I do have an Etsy page if you like buying one. But yeah. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of you driving them. Demo dude, yeah. Yeah, they do have some fun. I'm trying to make a Mars yard outside, and I'm hoping like on Saturdays you guys will be able to like drive them around outside rather than in this little space. Over his name Chet.
That's so
His name
cool.
is Chet.